It's been quite some time since we last heard from him, but now he is finally back with another issue of Joker's Final Trick, which is actually also going to be the title of this arc. And it seems like we might finally get some answers for all of the questions that have been plaguing us since the first issue was released. So let's go ahead and get into this review. But before we get into it, if you end up liking this video, if you find it helpful or enjoyable in any way, then please do leave a like down below and consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. Picking up from the last issue, we find Batman right where he left off, trapped inside of the ice sculpture with only seconds left to live as the timer ticks down. We are in what appears to be an abandoned subway tunnel. At least I think it's abandoned, but that's not important right now because Batman has to focus on the fact that he only has 20 seconds to live as this Joker toxin that is slowly killing him. Right as the clock hits 0, though, we see that Batman manages to swing himself upward, getting just out of the range of the acid and allowing himself some more time to live. He knows that he doesn't have much time left, so he swings himself over to the control panel for the subway tracks and tries to reroute the train that's coming his way. But when he does this, he triggers an alarm, alerting all of Gotham's police force that something is happening. And while they are dealing with this situation, we cut to Gordon, who is busy chasing down one of the clues that Batman left for him. He had mentioned something about looking into the GCPD's past, and specifically a case that was never closed. As Gordon looks into this, he finds out that the case was regarding the death of a man named Solomon Wayne, Thomas Wayne's brother. Apparently, he was working on some kind of project known as Project Cadmus, but he ended up being killed before he could finish it, which led to it being shelved. However, he did leave behind a journal, and once Gordon reads it, he learns of the existence of Project Cadmus 2.0. He asks for more files on this project, but unfortunately, they don't have anything available. So instead, he decides to go to Bruce Wayne and see if he knows anything about it. Meanwhile, back at the subway, Batman is still trying to figure out how he can escape. But as he moves some of the panels, he accidentally knocks over a bucket of water, shorting out the panel and causing everything to go black. When he hears sirens in the distance, though, he knows that they are getting close. So he quickly web swings away, hanging upside down from a pipe. When the cops arrive, they are unable to find him, but they do find the destroyed ice sculpture. As Batman watches them from afar, he uses his grappling gun to swing around on top of a building, blending in with the shadows. As we move to a new day, we find Bruce Wayne waking up in his bed, seemingly having no memory of what happened the night before. Alfred walks in on him and asks if he remembers, but Bruce tells him no. Alfred then lets him know that he will handle things from here, and that Bruce needs to rest, so he leaves him alone. But when Bruce gets up, we see that he is wearing his Batman suit underneath his clothes, and after he realizes what he has to do, he heads out of the house. He arrives at the GCPD and asks Gordon about the Wayne family and what they were up to. While Gordon is reluctant to share at first, he eventually gives in and shows Bruce the files. As he reads through them, we learn about the existence of Project Cadmus, which was essentially an initiative to help people with mental health problems by using experimental drugs. Unfortunately, the project was canceled due to some unknown reason, but they did have some success with one of the test subjects, someone named Jeremiah Valeska, who was suffering from dissociative identity disorder. The drug they gave him allowed him to access all of his different personalities without having to trigger them, which allowed him to seemingly be cured of his illness. This is very interesting to Bruce because it reminds him of someone he knows, someone who also suffers from dissociative identity disorder, the one and only the Joker. He then goes to see the mayor and asks her if she knows anything about Project Cadmus, but she doesn't seem to know what he is talking about. So he switches tactics and asks if she knows anything about a man named Jeremiah Valeska, to which she says yes. She mentions that he used to be a successful comedian, but then he started to suffer from mental breakdowns and became violent, leading him to be locked up in Arkham. This is exactly the type of story that Bruce was hoping for. So he thanks her for her help and goes back home. Once there, he puts on his Batman suit and heads out to go find the Joker. Meanwhile, the Joker is paying a visit to Harley Quinn in Arkham, bringing her a bouquet of flowers and wine. She is obviously very happy to see him, but he tells her that he just came to say goodbye because he plans on leaving Gotham and never coming back. She is shocked by this because she thought that he said that he was done with her. But he tells her that he actually misses her, and he wants her to join him and become his partner in crime once again. She is overjoyed by this and accepts his offer. So he gives her one last kiss, and then he leaves. We then find Batman and Robin standing above the city, looking out for any sign of the Joker. Batman tells Robin that he needs to be ready because he thinks that he knows where the Joker is going. And that place happens to be none other than the GCPD. They arrive and start to look around for the Joker, but they find nothing. Suddenly, though, they hear a voice over the loudspeaker, and it is the Joker. He tells them that they are too late and that he already won. Just as Batman is about to respond, the Joker cuts him off and tells him that he should take a good look around because he left him a little present. As he leaves, we see that he left behind a device that looks similar to one of those fake clown noses that he had in the last issue. When Batman examines it, he sees that there are multiple microchips inside, chips that are filled with viruses that will allow him to control every single computer in the GCPD. He then calls Gordon over and explains what he found, telling him that the Joker must have replaced all of the hard drives and copied all of the files before leaving. He mentions that the Joker likely wants to cause as much damage as possible before leaving Gotham, which means that they are running out of time. With that being said, we find the Joker and Harley Quinn standing on top of a building overlooking the city. He tells her that he has one last joke to make, one final trick to play, and it is one that will make Gotham remember him forever. With that, the arc comes to an end. Overall, I am satisfied with how this issue turned out. I feel like it answered enough of my questions to keep me engaged, but it also left me wanting more, which is exactly what a good cliffhanger should do. I really liked seeing Gordon come back and play a bigger role in this arc, and I also liked seeing Bruce Wayne have to learn about the Joker's past, albeit it was only related to his past in the comics, not in the main continuity. Either way, it was nice to see that there is a reason why the Joker is the way that he is. I also really liked the interactions between the Joker and Harley. There was just something about them together that I couldn't help but enjoy, even though I knew that he was only there to manipulate her. It was still fun to see their relationship play out. I think my favorite part of this issue, though, was the ending. When they showed that the Joker had infected the GCPD's system and that he was planning on doing as much damage as possible before leaving, it made me realize that this arc isn't about Batman or even the Joker. This arc is about Gotham. It's about showing that no matter what, Gotham will always be affected the most. The art for this issue was also fantastic. I loved the action sequences and the way that they portrayed the Joker's insanity. The colors were vibrant and the overall aesthetic was just really appealing to me. If you enjoyed this video, then please do leave a like down below. And if you want to see more content like this, then consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.